Is he putting us
No, we're already live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Put It in the Book show. I just realized we missed a grand opportunity last week, guys. It was Season 4, Episode 20. This is Season 4, Episode 21 now of the Put It in the Book show. Welcome, as always. Not as always. Sometimes they go missing. But I got Keith with the sunshine off the apple at Citi Field in the background. What's up, Keith?
What is that sunshine for? It's for number 20.
It's
we'll get into that.
V for victory. Rodriguez. Write it down here. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? I'm doing very well. How are you?
You gotta have a smile on your face. I'm doing really well. You know, moods of Met fans can change like that.
I'm very happy to see you guys on a glorious day.
Glorious! Glorious.
Good day to come back to our show here, guys. I mean,
yeah, nice little hiatus you went on as we stumble and free fall.
You guys,
wait, it's your fault.
Yeah,
it's your fault. Keith went in the IL for a couple weeks, and the Mets went into a tailspin.
Pool, so he came back quick.
It's a little one, just a tiny situation.
Really
tiny one. Really tiny one.
My pool is a shower.
The dog was pulling on it.
My pool was a grower. It wasn't so much a grower.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
All right, and we've got the best. What's the sense of having the best team in all this? And not talking about the Mets, but us. Without the best producer in the business.
This is
Producer Joe.
This is episode 20 of season 4 plus 1. 420 plus 1.
Taking extra for us.
I got to bury.
There's the wisdom.
But yeah, 420 plus 1.
No, Frank, the bald guy has been in here every week. Keith is the one who said, "Oh, no, I'm going to take an IL stint
today for Farace.
No,
I was like, "Who's that? Who's Farace's catching for the Mets?" And it was Nito.
Yeah, I can hit a ball harder than 63 miles an hour. Very confident in that.
That's true,
Rodriguez. I don't know about that.
100%.
You can get hit
Rodriguez.
by a ball.
Yeah,
you can get hit
come
by
on.
a ball faster than that.
I have gotten hit by a ball faster than that. That explains all the issues.
Go.
All right. Obviously, we have a fun one in store for you. We'll figure out what we're going to talk about today. And got a couple of things that we were watching. The Braves are playing now. We got the Field of Dreams game tonight. That is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool and unique thing to do. But before we do all that, let's get this show started. Why don't we, Mr. Producer Joe? Let's do it.
Let's go.
One of these days, the moon will happen. Welcome back, everybody. The moon discussion. Rodriguez, we're gonna moon Keith.
What?
I might have to snap a towel on that ass though. Watch it.
Oh my God! See, this is why I don't talk about these things.
All right,
let's weird.
All right. Wait, before we get to the actual open of this bad boy, let's catch up on a few comments here. Terzio and Tony and Timmy all joining us in the chat so far. Blaming on the ball-headed guy. No, it's this guy's fault. What's up, boys? We're back, baby. If you build it, he will come. Oh, maybe that's Keith. We built the set, and Keith showed up today. Terzio says, I'm still pissed off about the medical and about some of these guys net and doing what they need to do for the money that they make. Okay, I know exactly what you're referring to, and we will discuss that. Wait, I feel like Joe should take this comment because he'll sing it.
You were about to sing it.
I was.
Raise your hands. Who wants to hear Farace sing it?
I'm raising my hand.
Wait,
but
okay.
that's 2 out of 3. Oh, 4, 3 out of 3.
Can we do it? Can we do it as a group?
No, you first, then I can do it if you
Well,
want.
I was going to count down backwards from 3, and I was going to be, if you guys were just going to start and just
So
back
you were
off, I
just
was going
not
to be
gonna
going
do
to do
it
it.
and make us
When the
cool.
moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie, that's a
Amore.
3-game winning streak.
See, I was trying to jump in with you, and you threw me off
Hey,
with
Barb.
different lyrics, but it's cool. I like your lyrics better.
Babs.
That's
Oh my God.
Babs. I won't call her that. She might jump in.
All right,
But,
so let's
Mr.
get
Fwakata,
to
I
it.
love you.
Here's another fun raise your hand exercise. If you're on the show and you want to pretend that the series over the
Kinda like
weekend
you.
against the Phillies did not happen, raise your hand.
Oh, what?
I was going to say, you guys want to talk about it? Fine.
I'm not. No.
All right, so obviously, hi, Barb's mom.
Mama Farace.
Terzio says his ex-wife has had more streaks than the Mets. So listen, this is the first time that the Mets have won 2 in a row earlier today in the last 18 games. So now we've actually won 3 straight. So the last 2 series, we got the tale of 2 different cities. In Philadelphia, we got whooped. The bats weren't doing a damn thing. Then we come home.
Talk about it. Never happened.
I left that in the review. Then we come home, and the bats wake up. Pete starts hitting. Conforto has started hitting. JD is hitting again. So JD was down below 300. Now he's back up to like 313 or so. Conforto's hitting. Dom's got his average up. Nimmo had been going through a disastrous stretch, and now he's back up to 280. McNeil is around 270 now. So we do what we need to do. We all knew that we needed to sweep the Nationals because we got the Dodgers coming in now. So were there any? I don't want to go to this scenario, but we've talked about it. Are there any negative aspects about this series, though it was a sweep, that you are concerned with as we head into a series against the Dodgers and then the Giants and then the Dodgers and then the Giants again? What do you guys think? Anything? There might not be anything. Maybe it's nitpicking, but
Keith Rodriguez. So.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
Let me direct.
Rodriguez, you want to start? Oh, I can start.
Yeah. Well, I'll start. Let's say this. This series, this national series, I saw a lot of positive things that I haven't seen in a while. I saw guys try to bunt people over, try to bunt for a hit.
What's that? What's a
saw
bunt?
Guys taking. Well, you'll forget about it. Yeah, you'll forget about it in a couple of years. No one will be doing that stuff. But guess what? Those bunts help. Guys trying to move other runners over. Guys stealing bases that you don't expect to steal bases. Nito, Polar Bear. Who else stole a base? Nemo stole a base. He hasn't stolen a base in a long time. They were running. They were taking advantage.
Farace stole it. Nemo, that's right. I mean, Nito.
Me.
I don't get this joke, but I guess it's the ball-headed thing.
Yeah, Nito shaved his head. Nito shaved his head.
Okay. I guess that's funny. All right, so I forgot what I was saying.
The
Fundies.
negatives.
Talking about
Fundies.
Fundies. No, yeah, we're talking about guys playing good baseball. You know, their swings. It looks like they're stopping that uppercut now. I know Alonso for sure is. You can see it, and he's red hot. McNeil, when he stops doing that loop thing that he tries to do, he starts hitting the ball hard again. Dominic Smith, 2 hands, full swing, driving the ball out to the outfield. These guys are starting to get hot, and we have Baez and Lindor sitting in the dugout, ready to come back within a week. Honestly, this offense can be amazing if it's running the way it's running. VR, thank God for VR, guys. That guy should get another $1 million for what he's done for this team this year, because he's helped out in very key situations. Has put himself out there, hustle, tries to steal bases. Sometimes he's a knucklehead, gets picked off, but you got to be aggressive. So you take the go with the bad. But the guy's been good for us, man. The defense is good, and I'm worried about the pitching, Keith. What about you? I'm worried about the pitching, especially our bullpen. These guys, the F word, you know who I'm talking about, and may he be released. Those guys are pretty shaky. Can you let us know what's going on with the bullpen?
Yeah, and I think the question was right. What are the negatives? So the bullpen, I'm not going to call them a negative. I'm just not, because yeah, they've been struggling a little bit. Um, they haven't been doing what they did the entire year, but this is baseball, in my opinion, Rodriguez, and I don't know if you agree or not, but they're entitled to have a little bit of a bad stretch. It's
Not
now time
now.
for the rest of
They're
the
not
team.
entitled right now. Not right
Right,
now.
because everybody else
No.
continuing to have a bad stretch since forever, right? So if I'm gonna say what are the negatives, I can list a bunch of positives, because and you put a bunch of them out there that I agree with every point. Negatives to
Keep
me are
listing,
still
man.
injuries.
Love
Injuries are still
positive.
negatives to me. I'm still having a problem with the fact that Lindor and Baez are on the bench. Yes, Baez was available to hit, which is a positive thing. They didn't use him, but it means that he's not completely shut down. Yes, Lindor had some positive strides in his recovery. But not having those two guys on the team, and I don't care about all you naysayers and complainers and his 220 average or whatever it may be. Lindor is such a leader. Him not being on the field and him not being in the dugout, well, he is in the dugout, but not on the field playing with the team, shoulder to shoulder, is an impact. Um, and Baez being a partial player right now because of his back and hips, or hips, I'm not sure which, is negative. And I think those two big pieces are huge to us. I think DeGrom getting shut down in this series really showed us, um, how much we need to rely on other pitchers. And what I mean by that is look at Stroman's performance today, where he pitched 5.1 innings, did amazing, uh, really held it down for us. But we we need that every fifth day guy who we know, okay, we can sit back, put our hands behind our head, and watch 6 to 7 innings of shutdown baseball. And we don't have that right now. We just don't. So I think this series showed us, based off of Stroman's performance, how much we need that kind of consistency in the rotation. And it also showed us missing that leadership, because Baez, as much as he's crazy, is a big time leader on the field too, as well as Lindor, and not having them impacts us. I will say, however, that Big Pete and a couple of players on the team, I'm sure we'll get into on this podcast show, tune in, did a great job stepping up today. And I will even say, when Pete got hit and he yelled back at the pitcher, "What the hell are you looking at?" I would even say that was kind of a leadership moment for him. And those kind of things will hopefully pump energy into the team. But we definitely need Lindor and Baez back, just to cap this off. And to me, that's the biggest negative that I took away from this, is that we're missing them a lot. But we swept the Nationals. How much? It's beautiful. I love it. We just took three from these suckers.
Yeah, and I think somebody said that is Washington is a very bad team. Yes, Washington's a bad team, but what do we do? Not play our schedule?
With great players, though. There's a lot of good players on that team. You cannot discount the fact that they're on the major league roster. Tells something. And they have Soto. That lineup it's depleted compared to what it was, but it's not garbage. It's not a garbage lineup by any means. Sorry to say if anybody thinks they're different, but it's just not.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the comments here. It's always very interesting to see some of these things, right? So, Dom says VR has always been good since he came here, right? And VR is hitting what, 230 something, right? Or somewhere abouts. Couple comments later.
I know what you're gonna say about
wait. A couple of comments later, articles are being written about McCann being a bust, and McCann's what, 240 something, right? And has provided that stopgap finally, that catcher that can actually handle. Yeah, how about you see yesterday the one hop that Ramos would have. I don't even know what Ramos would have done with that, but he made like a backhanded NHL top of the line goalie play. I think it was yesterday. Yeah. I don't have any concerns with McCann. I love his play calling, his game calling ability. I love his defense back there. I love his arm. And he's not always been this offensive juggernaut. We didn't necessarily didn't we all talk about, it's okay if we don't get a huge offensive catcher? because we just
positions in
need.
We're not
baseball
saying anything about
there's
it.
three positions in
Yeah.
baseball that you really need to be really good defensively: center field, shortstop, and catcher. Obviously, you don't want anybody else to suck, but those three positions are so key. Catcher's the most important position. You need to be able to call a game. You need to be able. The catcher can save the most runs just by stopping pitches in the dirt, pass
Mama
balls.
Farace's looking at McCann's cup.
Yes.
Well, McCann always adjusting his cup. It is a little strange,
Always.
guys. But listen, and we've said this on the show before, and quite frankly, I'm sick of addressing it. McCann, yes, he's not a 280 hitter. He's not hitting 30 home runs, but the amount of runs he saves based off of his skill behind the plate and his ability to call a game is tremendous and is a huge reason why we are where we are. And if you say, oh, well, we're not in first place anymore, we would be in last place if we had the defense we did 2 years ago. So everybody take a little, chill pill.
Oh my God.
And relax,
That'd be
because
awful.
it would be awful. Our defense has been amazing this year, and even players that we on this show, and myself included, because I'm on the show, right? Did not believe in 100%. Are playing amazing, from Dom Smith to Nimmo so everybody just take a breath, okay?
Yeah.
You have an amazing defensive catcher who can call a game. Thank you. Great signing. Bat 240 all you want, as long as you play behind the dish that way.
Terzio is complaining. Did you see the ninth inning? He stinks. Everything is hit to the right side. I think your ex slipped you something. Since when do we get upset about players going to the opposite field? It's good hitting. It's just not finding holes. Okay. What do we say about? Yeah. He says the $40 million
plate in the second game though. Oh, that was the first game.
That was the first game. How many players do we have on our roster that we say, oh, look, they're starting to get right because they're hitting to the opposite field? McNeil, Conforto, Alonso sometimes. Okay. McCann has been lauded for going to the opposite field. And so
if you're hitting to the opposite
get
field,
out of here,
the meat of the bat on the ball, okay? You get the meat of the bat on the ball, you're going to do something with the baseball. You're going to drive it. Okay, that's why they start to hit well. It's not Conforto. Sometimes he hits the ball really well. He just hits it at somebody, and that's why he's got a very low average. But he's been making contact a lot of times, just right at people. These guys are starting to heat up now, man. And to start nitpicking about McCann and him not hitting sometimes, he's not that guy, like you said, Farace. Like Laura said, he's a defensive first catcher, good game caller with a cannon. That's what I want behind the plate. Yeah. I don't care. He signed for a couple of years. We got a kid down in the minors, Alvarez. He's tearing the cover off the ball, and he's a really good defensive catcher. So within 2 years, he's ready to come up. McCann, if you're too old, then you go. Who cares about him right now? He's a good catcher for this team, people.
He's doing a good job.
Get over it. We're going to be fine.
Rodriguez, if I can ask, I'm sorry, Frog, if I can just ask Rodriguez real quick. So Conforto, right? And I've been hard on Conforto a little bit, and he deserved it. But his last two games, he's hitting the ball. His bat seems more level, because I know in our personal chat, our side chat, you were talking a little bit more launch angle, but I think we were talking about Pete. But his bat has been more level, and he's getting those line drive base hits to all different fields. Okay, what do you think about the way he's been hitting the ball? You think this is a turning point for him, or you think this is just a flash in the pan, kind of what?
Listen, the way I play baseball, a level swing is the key. Okay, I'm looking to hit line drives in the gap, doubles, all day, doubles and hard singles up the line. If I get a ball up in the air, my swing is going to be compact enough and strong enough that I'm going to be able to drive it to the fence. And if I get a little bit of air underneath, it's a home run. I don't care. I need to get on base. Conforto has finally decided to try to stop that launch angle nonsense.
Trying to hit those homers,
lift
right?
every ball all the way to the outfield. They want to lift every ball to the outfield. Let it go. Let's see what happens. Let's drive the ball. You don't win. You don't drive the ball like that. Or you're picking it up like a golf swing. When McNeil is right, that golf swing of his, he's not using it. Okay, he's more level. Look at
he's not
Smith.
Strawberry.
Smith is level right now.
Right.
Okay, and he's holding on to that bat with two hands, not that Olay nonsense that he does. These guys are starting to understand that driving the ball and getting doubles, you're going to win a lot of games like that.
And as much as I want to drive Farace nuts and just destroy Conforto. I gotta say, the last 2-3 games, his swing has been looking really nice, and he's looking like Farace. You said this earlier today. The Conforto we need now. He is starting to look that way, and he has the ability. We all know to do it. So I'm hoping that's a good sign. Yeah.
The team that we have is a great offensive team, guys. Honestly, if they're all heated up.
Producer Joe making it impossible.
Oh my God! You know we can't focus when you do stuff like that, Producer Joe. There it is.
We're squirrel. We're a bunch of squirrel. Squirrel.
Squirrel. You know, we're distracted.
So Terzio's giant comment. Don't put up because it's going to block the whole screen. But he says McCann hit into a double play. The only reason it wasn't a double play was the guy threw the ball away. That's like saying the Mets won the World Series, but the only reason they won the World Series was because of XYZ. I don't care what the reason is. The Mets win. The Mets win.
That grounder between your legs.
Yeah, it's easy to be. Listen, it's Monday morning quarterbacking, right?
Yes, Terzio. I'm very surprised at you. Very shocked at your behavior today. Tom Boulette says it's Chili Davis's fault. Oh, are you saying that Terzio's in a slump this week?
Can you please?
Terzio's in a slump this week, man.
Terzio today he's won for his last 21.
Can you please call Tom Boulette?
You know, he also won a game. You know, with a home run. He's hit into 8 double plays. All right. Well, I mean, how many runs has he saved on the base path?
Farace, why would you even argue this with? You know he's making you nutty.
Terzio makes me nutty. This is one stat. By the way, the Reds are ahead of the Braves 9-1 at the end of 5. So if that holds up, I do believe Terzio McCann lost 2 games on his own. Look, McCann lost 2 games this year, all because of McCann. McCann pitched, hit, ran, and tried to close the game out.
And I'm sure those games where he left runners on base, he was not the only one.
There was 31 runs on base.
You remember that one post I put up on our Put in the Book show page on Facebook? 31 opportunities to drive in and run. 1 run. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know, I think he's what Dom, who's watching Dominic. Dominic is talking about how he'll always post something on in the group saying 3 hits through 7 innings is never gonna. Where were you yesterday when we had 10 hits through 3 innings? Guys, Mets fans. It's okay to be positive. It is okay to be positive.
In milk.
Well, you know what, Farace?
Why you have to be so miserable? Come on.
Right. And you know what? Our offense has been disappointing a lot of times this year, but when it's not disappointing, also celebrate that.
Celebrate it, baby.
Yeah. It's like, you can't complain unless you celebrate the.
Speaking of disappointing, let's talk about our general manager.
Wait. First, a quick stat, and then I want to do the Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters. But here, this is a stat that is unbelievable to me.
Oh, I can't believe it. What is it?
Last year, okay, we're talking about isolated power here. So this is basically your batting average, just including doubles, triples, and home runs. So this stat has been kept for I think 10 years or so. So it's still relatively new to the game. But the Mets last year on fastballs 97 miles per hour or above hit 256 isolated power. Doubles, triples, home runs. Obviously, there's more to that if you put the singles and whatnot in there. This year, against the same team, basically, right? Against the same thing, 97 miles per hour or more, doubles, triples, home runs, and the team is hitting 0.58. 200 points less than what they did last year. Same people. Chili Davis was the hitting coach at the beginning of the year. Decided to work remotely last year. That didn't necessarily work out, and so you see all these stats that they put up on the board. Like today, they put batting averages against curveball. Brian Hump sucks. So
All
the
day.
the Mets batting averages against
Himself.
hey Brian Hom, all that gloating you did that you went to first place, it would last 48 hours. We were in first place for 90 days in a row. You lasted 48 hours. Happy for you guys. But
Gonna walk
but
over there and piss on
it's
you.
like one
Make
thing
it
or
our
another.
territory. Take it
Yes. Well, since he
Hold on.
says that
Let me
his
drink
his
through
city
the,
smells like pee-pee.
The Phillies got lucky and they still suck.
They do. All right. Is that a cheers? No?
That certainly was.
Always a cheers.
All right, Keith, you want to talk to us, please, about some Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters?
Oh
This
my God,
segment-
please do.
And the 9 red runs were brought to you by Brooklyn Water Coffee
Around.
Roasters. If you go to Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters right now and order 2 bags, you get your third free using the code PopCulturePros. And by doing so, you will help us out and guarantee the Braves lose today. Not really.
Yes.
You know, if it makes you
Let's go
feel better,
Reds.
and I'm superstitious. Go out there and buy 2 bags, get your third free. The Reds will win because we need the Reds to go for a sweep. Actually, I don't know what game they're in right now, but we need the Reds to win today, and they're killing the Braves, and we want the Braves to go down. We want the Phillies to go down, but the Phillies and the Braves sucking is brought to you by BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. From their roaster to your front door. Order a bag today if you support the Phillies and Braves sucking. I just can't get off that topic, actually. I really hate the Phillies and Braves. Can we just make the segment about how much the Phillies and Braves suck? You can order from BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com morning wood. And all that wood will go to you and away from the bats of the Phillies and Braves. Morning Wood is a delicious coffee that is brought to you by the Phillies sucking. I just can't get off this. I gotta stop.
My morning wood.
We should
Yes.
we should buy the website phillysuck.com.
We should. Okay, in all seriousness, BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. They are
serious.
one of my favorite coffees. And what I mean by coffees, coffee companies, coffee manufacturers, they handpick their beans. They select them specifically for you and your pleasure alone. They are delicious. And they roast the beans 24 hours before its ship date. So when you get those beans, it is one of the most fresh, delicious coffees you will ever eat. They'll send you the whole roasted beans. They'll send you ground beans for your auto drip coffee, whether you have a Keurig or whatever it may be. www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com. From the roaster to your front door, guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast date. I didn't get into all the specifics time, but I think we're good there, Farace. Do you want me to go ahead and start talking about the flavors?
No, you're all good. I
wasted a lot of time on the Phillies and Braves.
I throw flavor. Yeah. No, but that's okay.
Yeah, I needed to. Sorry.
Terzio said give McCann some morning wood so he can bring it to the batter's box. Tom Boulette says says Steve, you're stuttering. I'm stuttering because I'm angry. It's not because of any Bushmills Black Bush whiskey. It's not because of that.
Boulette. Tom Boulette.
No, it's Boulette. It is that. When he's giving me shit, he's Boulette.
Tom, give us a quick comment. Is it Boulette or Boulette? Just comment with Farace or Laris. Let us know.
Now,
first of all, Dominic.
Now hold on.
You're right. We've said this all along.
No. So first of all, Dominic, if you were watching last week's episode, which you should go back and watch because it's tremendous, we talked about how there were teams that were behind us in hitting with much better records. So it's the Rays and the Brewers' batting average as a team is like 218. 218. And we're around 230, but they're 20 games over 500.
An opportunistic 218.
Yes,
Man.
and it's also the division, right? It's also the division. Everybody in the Central sucks.
It's a lot of. Well,
yeah, but
so does everybody in the East then, right?
But for the East, now let me ask you all a question. Everybody in the comments, producer Joe, everybody here. If the division is all mediocre, can't that just mean they're all good teams in the division? You know, evening out series. The Mets are 8-8 against the Phillies.
You just said the division sucks.
Their division. The Cubs traded everybody. The Cubs traded everybody. So who do they have? They used to have Baez and Bryant and Rizzo.
Really.
I hate a question with a question, but can I just throw a question at you to kind of counter that? Don't you think that the West is superior to the
not an
East?
Answer.
Okay, I agree. The East is there's 3 good teams in the East. Now there's 2 because Nationals kind of traded away some good pieces, right? prior to that trade deadline, wouldn't you say the West is superior to the East in terms
Oh
of
yeah. But you also have very good teams like the Dodgers and the Giants beating up on the Rockies and beating up on the subpar teams that they play 19 games against.
True, but they're not beating up on the Giants and not beating up on the Padres. There's two other good teams in that division.
Right, so they're beefing
better
up
than probably any team, including us in our.
The Padres are definitely fading. What's his name is hurt. He's been hurt a couple times.
Yeah, they got hit with the bug.
We beat the Padres in the season series. Nobody wants to talk about that in the comments.
And that goes to our management, our GM. That goes to Sandy. Today. That goes to Cohen. Really building a depth factor on our team because we were able to sustain those injuries. The Padres were not. Just a little.
Yeah, because the Tatis, the little titty boy keeps getting hurt. Now he wants to be an outfield titty. His titties, just like your dad. You and your dad are like this. You can run around everywhere. Me and my dad.
Wow.
I like that.
You think Vlad's going to go in the outfield too? Vlad Jr.
Nah, I love Vlad, man. I love Vlad. Guerrero, that man was a great ball player.
Senior or junior?
Oh, senior. I don't care about junior.
But Vlad, even with the Angels,
got a few years.
I loved him when he went to the Angels because he wasn't facing us.
I said even with the Angels, I mean, he was spectacular. That arm, first of all, the arm, and second of all, you could bounce a ball 57 feet and he'll still hit it to left center field.
He was an amazing baseball athlete. Yeah, not to get too much into that, but he was really fun to watch, and I'm glad I had the pleasure to do so.
All right, so let's talk now about the comments. The comments from our
I had the pleasure to do so.
Our fill-in GM,
run up the baseline.
Our acting GM, and his comments the other day. So he basically called out the players and said the players are not following the regiments.
Right. We've been saying that. I've been saying it.
Yeah, it's okay for us to say it. I don't think it's okay for the general manager, especially if you're an acting. You got balls. I'll give you that. Is that you're an acting general manager and you are alienating the entire team. That's my take on it.
He's making them accountable for their actions. They're professionals that get.
Well, now he's going to be he's not going to get this role. He's not going to get the role.
I don't care. I'm glad he said that because guess what? They're not trying to launch everything out there. The swing got a little bit better. They're trying to make contact with the ball and drive it. So his comments probably help. If it lights the spark, whether it's good or bad, and makes us winners again, then that's all we need to do. That's all he needed to do. That's his job. So I agree with him making these people accountable for their actions.
So for him,
how can a training staff be that bad for us?
I gotta move over. How can what?
How can our training staff be that horrible, that bad, that every year we have 30 or 40.
But we got rid of all of our medical staff a few years ago, and now it's happening again. So the Mets are the only team out there that don't listen. The Mets are the only team out there that don't listen.
But what's that got to do with any other teams? What, you care about somebody else, how they raise their kids? No, you worried about raising your own kids, your own house.
Well,
worry about
that's different.
Your guys, not other teams.
If an asshole is raising their kid to be an asshole, it might have an effect on me because they might be an asshole to me, and I gotta punch them.
Don't try to get funny.
But for this, that wasn't funny. But for this, I mean, he's. If he loses it, and he gets fired. I don't care. Screw him. I mean, that wasn't in my opinion, it wasn't a smart thing to say. Haven't we been talking this year? Oh, the Mets are finally keeping everything under wraps. You know, no bullshit is getting to the media. And he sits down and says,
bullshit. That was straight
the players are not following the training regimen.
It wasn't speculation by them people.
I don't know what he means by training regimen, so I have a little bit of an issue with really understanding. Like, if he's honestly, you know, if you're gonna sit in a pot, just shit,
poop,
let it all out, okay?
Take a laxative.
Because if you're gonna say, well, they're not following the training regimen, what do you mean? Who, what regimen? And what part of the regimen are not following? Now I want details, right? Because now you just open that box. If you didn't open that box, I wouldn't even be thinking of that. But now that you open that box, either shit or get off the pot. And he kind of just sat on the pot, never really fully shit. And it's excuse my
You need some
language,
Pepto.
but truth of the matter is, if you're going to go ahead and say that, at least spill it all out at once. That's what annoyed me a little bit. The team has been underwhelming. I do agree with that. I don't have an issue sometimes calling people out, but if you're going to get as specific as not following a specific regimen, then you need to realize you're dealing with New York Met fans, and you need to be a little more specific and detailed in what you're conveying out to the fan base. My opinion.
And George, just to clarify, I'm not saying that the mediocre part was bullshit. I actually called this team mediocre a couple of years ago, and I got so much shit from these two guys, especially Keith. We're not mediocre. Somebody else says it, and it's okay. No, I wasn't talking about that part. I think the training regiment saying that, I mean, call the group together and say, you guys need to follow this thing. I mean,
wasn't that, when he said that, didn't he say that that's part of what's going on? Did he say that was the only reason that it was going on? Or did he say that was part of a lot of other things that have been going on?
It's part of it, but you still, you
so
don't even have the job yet. Shut up. Get the job first. Get the job first.
No, run the house.
And if the team has been underperforming,
can't let the
you can generalize a statement like that and say the team has been underperforming. But like I said, when you get into specifics and
these are the reasons why. Boom, 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 boom.
Right, you're not following a regimen. Okay, what regimen? Who's not following it? What part of the regimen are they not following? Who sets this regimen? I mean, we're New Yorkers. We're not just going to go, oh, they're not following a regimen and run with it. Now we want all the details behind all the comments you just said. And I think he went a little too far. He should have just left it at, yes, the team has been underwhelming and underperforming, and I will be working with them to.
I think he should be fired for being stupid.
I think they should promote him.
George said they forgot their morning wood, and I think that's true. They should get up in the morning, www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com, drink a cup of morning wood, and hit the fat part of your morning wood on the ball and out the park. There you go. Like
Terzio, I'm so glad he's got rings with the Red Sox. That has so much to do with what's going on here.
Yeah, ring this.
All right, let's move on to one of Rodriguez's favorite players ever in baseball. Really quickly, have you seen the story from the New York Post? I know we don't like the Post, but based on the subject, I like the Post today. Talking about how angry A-Rod is over losing the Mets and how he's furious, and he called the whole. Stop me if you've heard this before. But he said the whole thing was rigged.
Really? What a surprise. Oh, my God. The biggest cheater in baseball for the last 20 years is talking about things being rigged. You're mad because you lost J-Lo. You couldn't tap that.
You lost the Mets, and then you lost J-Lo.
And then you lost J-Lo.
In the span of 2 months, right?
In the span of 2 months. Who took it from you? 2 white guys. That makes you mad.
That's his cousin's fault. His cousin injected the winning bid into
butt to run away or something.
His cousin injected the winning bid into the Wilpons' ass.
Hey, Dom, okay. Dominic, you got to pick one or the other in the comments there. Dom says that Zack Scott lit a fire under them, but in a comment before you said it's the Nationals, bring the Dodgers, and then we'll see. You gotta pick one. Did they light a fire, or did they only beat the lowly Nationals?
He doesn't have to. As soon as he says it, he forgets it. It's part of the disease.
All right, so it does go on to say that they were able to buy a 20% share in the Minnesota Timberwolves. You went to Minnesota, you couldn't get the Mets. They have options to eventually acquire the whole team, along with the WNBA's Minnesota Lynx. So instead of getting the Mets and the entertainment complex and the revitalizing of everything but baseball in Queens, which is what he wanted to do, he's got the Timberwolves, 20%. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Can you imagine if he did buy the Mets?
He likes
the
cheese,
scandals that would come
out.
out.
Minnesota, right?
No, I got into an issue. I got into a conversation with somebody the other day saying, "Oh, that would have been the best thing for the Mets. They got the big name and A-Rod." I was like,
good God.
He he separated from J-Lo, what would have happened there? Ownership would have been a disaster. Thank whoever runs the universe.
Oh,
that
You need somebody who
that-
knows how to
that
run
worked
a
out.
business.
thanks whoever runs the universe. Yeah,
And who is a
Yeah,
Met
okay.
fan. And we got the perfect owner and Steve Cohen. So
we'll
that's
see
that.
if he signs Baez and he goes and he signs Soto, trades for Soto. I would trade for Juan Soto right now.
Did you see? I was going to bring this up.
I sent it out to you guys. I saw it,
Now-
bro.
Well, he posted the thing on Instagram about how it's him leaning on his bat, looking out to center field at I almost said Shea, at the Big Apple, and he talked about how God places you in certain situations and whatnot, and then used the hashtags Big Apple, Future, and I forgot one other.
I
He
hope
has
he
since
didn't
changed the
mean Stanton,
future. Well, why would he take it at City Field if that he would be public
That's
enemy
tease.
number
I
one?
don't know. That would be.
I don't
tease.
like it. I don't like it at all.
That would be horrible.
Couple of comments. Producer Joe says Terzio's ex seen canoodling with Aroyd. Details at 11. On 11 o'clock news. Divorce court something my ex-wife has a
Lana
lot of
Wolf's gonna
experience
talk
with
about it.
from Terzio. And Terzio also wants Aroyd to jump out of a plane.
Oh, well,
Without the
fine.
parachute. Without the parachute.
Oh,
Georgie
that's murder.
Baez is
That's murder,
pissing you
Terzio.
off already. He strikes out a lot, George. He strikes out a lot. But he also drives in. He also wins games with home runs to the opposite field in Miami.
Let Baez play the last 50 games steady. Let them see what Baez can really do out on the field. The guy's amazing.
Am I the only one that's kind of getting a kick out of Affleck's pictures, his intimate pictures with Lopez? Just because you know it's pissing A-Rod off?
Eating away at him.
Oh, I love it. I don't care
Another butt
about
pick.
that kind of news.
Show
But the
another butt
fact that I
pic.
know it's pissing A-Rod off is making me happy.
Whatever
Yep,
makes us happy.
Yep.
Whatever.
He'll just-
How great would it be if the Mets just won the whole damn thing this year, and then they zoom into and Aroyd's got to talk about it because he's on the Fox pregame and postgame show.
Oh, it
Yeah.
would be wonderful
That
to
would
see
be
him
amazing.
suffer like that. Even almost
right.
as good as the championship.
That seeing Aroyd struggle and be upset is a highlight for us. That's
And then
just
see
what
somebody
it is.
run up mid-interview and stick him with a needle.
It's Andy Pettit.
That's a felony, right?
Andy Pettit should do it.
You gotta
No,
do
it
Pettit
makes
things
should
a
do
like
skit
that.
out of it. You know?
Yes.
He
Make
finally
Andy Pettit.
admits he's a cheater, and we go from there.
Give
All right,
Turner some wood coffee. He'll do it.
So Trevor May,
stick him.
you talked about him earlier, Rodriguez. Trevor May until today had a
Maybe
1.70 ERA since the All-Star break, but thankfully that was a non-issue. Pete took care of that. Trevor May tweeted a little while ago saying, "Let's go Mets with 4 Panda Bears," and he wrote, "Pick me up huge, and that's all that matters." And that's what
That's
teammates
all
do,
that
right?
Matters. That's all that matters.
That's
That's
what-
what you're supposed to do. That's your job.
May has picked
Do
up
your job.
others. Familia
Try
has
throwing
picked
an
up others.
off-speed- Try throwing an off-speed pitch, May. Instead of
You
throwing
know-
95, 97,
you-
94.
You know, you said 3 panda bears, right?
4. Sorry, 4. It was 4.
He said.
Panda bears. Panda bears.
Polar bear. Sorry. Nobody else could catch me on
Yeah,
that.
but
Keith
that's
lives
quality
to correct
check
me
right
too.
there. That's quality. Right
Wait,
there.
no, Keith is not on his game. Keith lives to correct me.
No, I was just letting you fly with it. I want to see how many times you would say it.
You didn't hear it.
I did.
He didn't-
Cowbell
he
Man
didn't-
is
he
here.
didn't.
Edwin just got back from City Field, fresh
Edwin,
from
what's
City
up?
Field,
Nice.
fresh off the sweep, 3-game sweep, 2-game doubleheader sweep.
Saw you there, Cowbell Man.
We see Cowbell Man was in Philadelphia. Made up for that this week. So let's go ahead and talk about what's coming, guys. The stretch that we've been talking about for a month is here. We have the Dodgers coming in, then we have the Giants, then we have the Dodgers, and then we have the Giants again. And we're going to face Scherzer twice. We got Scherzer twice coming
We
up
beat
here.
him.
Yes. So tomorrow we got Tylor McGill We'd like to enunciate his name correctly on the show.
What
Against Julio Urias, and he's just 13-3, 3.41 ERA, no big deal. Against McGill is 1-2, a 3.20 ERA. He has struggled his last time and a half out. What do you guys see out of McGill Rodriguez? Like he did a great job for us, and of course he's a rookie, so he's going to go through stretches like this. But a 3.20 ERA. I mean, he's doing pretty well. He had a rough start last time before this past time out. Then he ran into some issues in the fifth inning. This last time out, I have him on my fantasy team. So give me some good news for tomorrow.
he's an aggressive. I wish you luck. Even though you
Mookie Betts is on the IL, if that helps at all.
Okay. Oh, but I hope you're on the IL, you douche.
Yeah, because there's nobody else on that team.
God, I hate fantasy baseball. I
hate the Dodgers.
Ty Lord is what I call an aggressive.
Wait, I'm sorry. Don't get producer Joe started on the fantasy baseball stuff.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the worst boat in the league. He's right above me, not by much, but so he's gonna kill somebody by the end. It might be you, Farace. I think
he's so angry all the time towards me. Yeah, but he got his points. You got your points.
He does have a point. You're a cheating commissioner. So Tyler McGill, I think he's good. I like him. Like I said, he's an aggressive control pitcher, but he has to have his control, hit the corners, dot your eyes, and still be aggressive. He's aggressive inside. I like when he throws inside people and backs them off the plate and comes back outside. And he doesn't seem to get too frazzled. Does he have the stamina to continue that? Let's hope so. But I think he's a good pitcher for us.
Yeah,
I do. A good 5 innings, which in baseball today is like amazing.
That's above average in today's game.
Oh,
right. So, all right. So that's the game tomorrow. Mookie Betts is on the IL. That helps a little bit. Just real quick. Tomorrow and Saturday, the games are going to be on MLB Network, so national TV. Sunday, the game is on ESPN, national TV. So it's 3 against the Dodgers, all on national television. Keith, let's head to Saturday. Saturday, we got Walker Buehler, who's 12-2, 2.13 ERA, against Yaiwan.
Don't laugh when you say this stuff.
I'm sorry. Well, one guy's 13-3, the next guy's 12-2.
I know. It hurts. It just hurts to see it.
Right? Imagine if they didn't get off to that so-so start. I remember I predicted them to win like 115 games, and they might have if they not had gotten off to that start. But Keith, the Saturday game is Buehler against Walker. Walker has struggled since the All-Star break pretty mightily, giving up the long ball. What do we have to do there? I mean, it's against this elite Dodger team, elite Dodger pitcher, against one of our guys who's been struggling.
I think honestly, you got somebody like Buehler who comes in. This guy is a Buehler.
Buehler.
I mean, the 3 pitchers we're facing against the Dodgers, it's almost unfair. But
twist and
for
shout.
Buehler, the guy is right. Go to Chicago then. The guy is pretty damn good. The guy is pretty damn good. And when I say pretty damn good, he is having a great year, and it's going to be a real tough matchup. We're going to need 2 things. We're going to need Taiwan to go ahead and get to the form he was before the All-Star break. And we're going to need our hitting to continue to be aggressive and score some runs. If we don't score any runs this game and we let this guy shut us down, it's going to be a lot of trouble for us. We're going to need to score between 4 and 7 runs per game this weekend, easy, because their offense is devastating, and the 3 pitchers we're going up against are even more devastating. So 2 keys to this game for me: Taiwan get into pre-All-Star break form, and the Mets bats continuing what they did against the Nationals when they're facing the Dodgers. And that's going to be rough because those pitches are amazing.
Bold prediction out of Terzio: Mets win Saturday 3-2. I like the bold prediction. I enjoy it. I hope it comes to fruition.
Taiwan Yaihuan.
It's a horrible game.
Did what he needed to do if he's holding that team 2 runs. And then, of course, Trevor May and Familia come in and shut the rest down because that's what they always do. Right?
Oh, my God.
And then bring in Diaz. He'll shut it down too. Bring Diaz in a non-safe situation. We got it locked down, baby.
Diaz almost scared me a little this afternoon, but okay.
Almost scared me a little. Yesterday, you knew. Here's the thing about Diaz. You know a pitch or two into it if he's got his stuff. You see the slider doing its thing. And last night, the slider was electric. And that when he's on, he can absolutely be the. Yeah, thank you for that. He can absolutely be the best closer in the league. Now, you want to fast forward a little bit and talk about the rest of this stuff that's going to be going on in the next couple of weeks. I say stuff because it's not right. Then we after this series we head to San Francisco with a couple of night game 9:45 starts. When we're done with that, we head to Los Angeles for a 4-game set, 10-10, 10-10, 405, and 410. Then we head home, Giants for 3, Nationals for 3, and then the Marlins are in. The Marlins were they flashed that stat up about how we're doing against the rest of the division today. I think they're 3-5 against Miami, or 3-6, or 4-7, something along those lines. And 8-8 against the Braves, 8-8 against the Phillies. I think we broke even against the Nationals today. So, if we can somehow get through this 13-game stretch with the Giants and the Dodgers, I say 3-ish games out of first place. I would take that.
Wow.
Because after today, we'll be tied for first if the Reds continue to hold up their end of the bargain.
When the Braves lose.
Well, without going series by series, out of 13 games, how many wins? Total.
10.
Get out of here.
I love
10. I don't want to eat my hat.
You're just throwing shit into the air.
No.
If I say 10 or say 13, what's the difference?
Wow.
It doesn't matter what we say. It matters how these Mets play. They play like today, we're gonna be over 500.
It's your
if they play like today.
prediction.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
think
I'm thinking if they play if the offense is playing like today, and somewhere in that mix we get Lindor and Baez back, we could go 10 out of 13.
Which would we'd run away. Yeah, if we win 10 out of 13 in this stretch, we vault up in the standings, and we kind of just one of the two teams, the Phillies or the Braves, will separate ourselves from one of the two teams.
I'm a big believer in intimidation.
Teams of that caliber.
Yeah. Right, Keith. Remember when we used to be in New York? You want to beat the other team, but you just don't want to beat them. You want to step on their necks. And when you go out there and you beat up on the Dodgers and the Giants, the rest of the league is going to stand up, take notice, and say, "Wow, these Mets are badasses." There's going to be a big problem with them this year, and a lot of it is intimidating the other team right before you get there. Let them know you're coming. 86, remember the bad guys won.
Yep.
Bad guys
there
won.
You go. That's the way you win championships. You have to be that guy. Baez is that guy for us. He can be that guy. He can be that tough guy that doesn't take
we're starting to see that a little bit.
You got to take the good with the bad with Baez.
With Stroman, with Alonso, you're starting to see a little bit more of that aggressive.
How big is Stroman?
Nature.
How big is Stroman? Good, right, Laris? Keith, how Stroman is? Last time he was a stopper against the Reds, 8 innings, 1 hit.
Saving our bullpen.
He did his thing today. 109,000 degree heat out on the mound.
Yeah.
He's done very well. There's not much more you can say about Stroman. I don't know what his ERA is now. But Terzio, I'm sorry, to answer your question, yes, the Mets do have 2 more doubleheaders this year against the Marlins on I think August 31st. So that's a 4-game series. And then right after that, there's a doubleheader on that Saturday against the Nationals. So that's a 5-game set against the Nationals. So during that week, we have 3 against the Marlins, 5 against the Nationals, 3 more against the Marlins before we head to City to face the Skanks.
How many games would you predict out of those 13, Faraj?
Out of the Dodgers and Giants?
Yep. Well, the next 13, right.
I 6 or 7.
That's where I'm at. I'm hoping for 7.
And I'm scared.
I'll be happy with 6.
And I'll be staying up late for hopefully for excitement when when they go to. There's nothing worse than a West Coast trip that you stay up late only to lose. Then you're up for another hour or two afterwards, pissed off.
Pissed off.
It's yeah. Rodriguez, we were talking about something earlier, just to kind of close out here, and I lost it for a second, but I want to talk real quick about the scheduling. This year, the Mets have 2 games against the Red Sox at the end of September. Next year, not only do the Mets go out of division in middle of September, not only do they go out of the league, but they go to Oakland in the middle of September. Why are, I know you don't agree with this. What's going on with the scheduling? Why does any team have to face the other division in September? If we're going to keep interleague play, I would love for it to no interleague play in September. September's a month for Marlins, Phillies, Braves, and Nationals. That should be it. That should be it.
September should be your division.
The NFL closes mostly every year division rivalries. Giants and Cowboys, Giants and Eagles, Giants, Redskins, whatever they're called these days. But they're gonna have to go to, I think it's Los Angeles and Oakland next year. So we'll have 2 West Coast trips next year.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. Why would you want to do that? Why, if you're in a division race, do you want to go to Oakland and play? And they don't even matter in your division. I could see us playing the Yankees in September because they're our rivals, and having them beat us and hurt us in our division is an intercity thing, and it will create conflict and it would create talk, and baseball would benefit from that because there'd be more people going to the games for sure. It would help them. But I can't see any reason to play another team in September. Honestly, even up until the All-Star break, I say do all the divisions and all that nonsense. Do it up to the All-Star break, and then after the All-Star break, you stay in the National League and you stay in the American League. That's it.
Terzo says that he believes that we play tech. Yeah, we play the entire American League West, so the Astros, the Rangers, the Angels, and the Athletics. Keith.
But not in September.
No, I think September is the Angels and Oakland. I know for sure it's Oakland.
No, I'm just saying.
And it's like the middle of September. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So Keith, here's maybe it's a tough question, but what do you think about interleague play? Should we continue interleague play fully like we're doing now? Has it run its course, or should the rivalries happen like Mets, Yankees, Cubs, White Sox, Giants you can't do Giants anymore. Dodgers, Angels, those kind of things. Astros, Rangers, whatever. Should we stick to those, do you think? Or is interleague play still a lot of fun, just keep it before the All-Star break?
I don't think we should eliminate interleague play totally, but I think it has run its course with the progression we've gone in terms of scheduling. What's happening a lot right now, it's just getting played out. It's getting boring to the point where the All-Star game means almost nothing. To a point where
now. You don't even have the winning team or the winning league have the home field anymore.
Right. And in a lot of cases, even the World Series has less excitement than it did maybe 20 years ago. When interleague play came into the league, it was, at first, for me, I was uncertain about it. A lot of fans, as in baseball, whenever there's a change, they have a lot of issue. But the way they presented it was really great. It was an event. It was in the middle of the summer, usually around a little before or after the All-Star break. And it was an event. And each year you adjusted which league you're playing against. And then if you happen to be in a team with a rivalry in the other league, like Yankees, Chicago, or Oakland and San Francisco, you would go ahead and face those teams regardless, and then face whatever division it is for that year that you're playing, whether it be the East, West, Central. It was exciting. It was like a 2-week period. It was a whole big thing. National League won more this year. American League won more this year. But now it's so watered down. And it's to the point like where you were saying at the end of the year when you should be facing division rivalries, you're facing Oakland. And it's a pointless, stupid game. It makes no sense, and it needs to stop. Interleague baseball
Terzier agrees with you.
interleague seasonal games should be an event, and it should happen within a certain time period and then end. And you can make that a challenge within a season. This year, within 3 weeks, National League won 89 games, 200 games, whatever it may be. And it's a little fun side note, right? Because in baseball, we all love numbers. But the way they've watered it down right now, it really ruins it. That's my thoughts on all of that.
I'm watching. We talked about the Field of Dreams game is tonight, and I think they did a really good job of the entrance. Kevin Costner walked out from the cornfield with a ball in hand and got to the infield, and the two teams came out of the cornfield. So that's pretty cool. And they're going to bring it back. I think this should be an annual thing, no? But it shouldn't be on a Thursday night.
Do they have snipers on towers? If anybody steps over the foul lines, they get shot?
Oh, my God. Snipers.
I can't.
All right.
What just happened to your head now? Where did you go?
I don't know where you went with that.
Because you remember when they stepped over the foul line, they went over to whatever they are, whether it's dead or not.
Right. They had snipers in the original cut.
But I personally am going to watch this game, whether it be tonight or some point this weekend, and really concentrate on it because it is a special event. I love that movie, and I think this is a really cool event.
I'm going to watch the movie instead of watching the game.
Unfortunately, it involves the games,
because of one of the teams.
I am looking forward to watching it. I think it's special. I love that movie. I think it's a classic baseball movie, and I think this is a little tribute to that, and I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'm digging the white, especially the White Sox uniforms. Exactly,
I love those old White Sox uniforms. Yep. Yeah, bro.
All right, that'll about wrap it up for us. I don't know if sometimes when we talk right before the show, I forget if I talked about it on the show or not. But I got the Mets Bobby Bonilla shirt. I brought it in especially for Rodriguez. He was a big Bobby Bonilla fan. So
I actually was once upon a time. When he played third base, I was switching.
When he first came to us?
Before he became a big moron.
I know the sole reason why he was terrible for the Mets, and I won't divulge that here. You can hear that in a later show. But I know the exact reason why.
That's a tease. There's a tease for you.
Fan.
Nope. It has to do with
true skanky.
One person, and nobody knows his name.
Then how do you know it? Nobody does.
I was there to witness it.
Are you the one who knows it?
There was other people
there
there
too.
It was in the stadium.
You're the one who knocks.
I was there.
Pat says interleague should be AL and NL teams that have played each other in the World Series. So we're talking about like the Mets and Orioles, Mets and Red Sox, and that kind of stuff. I mean, you're not going to please everybody. I just don't want it to be in September. I like Rodriguez. Your idea.
Teams that'll never play.
Yeah, that's true.
The Mariners will just sit home for a week.
They almost got there back in the 90s. All right, so
9 wins. But anyway,
I think it was 116, right?
160. It was some crazy.
Only reason I remember that is because at the beginning of the year I looked up the record.
95, something like that.
98 or something like that.
90s.
All right, so that'll bring us to a close here on this fantastic. How great is it to have 2 games in the rearview mirror on a Thursday before our show, and we win both of them, and then we won the game yesterday too. So we got a nice little sweep going into
games.
Treat them things we won.
Treat them.
Put some suntan lotion on. What's his name? Polar Bear. You're burnt. So he was all burnt when they ripped off his shirt.
Yes.
So white, Mr. Polar Bear.
I did see a still of that.
Panda Bear.
Panda Bear.
The Panda Bear.
This is like a lifelong thing now.
Bear.
I'm sentenced to life from the Panda.
Was that a homing device to tell him what pitch is coming on his shoulder? What was going on there?
Oh boy! All right, so let's go round robin as we typically do. We'll face those cheating Astros next year. I hope it's at Citi Field. It's gonna be great. All right, Keith.
Fwakata. I'm sorry, I need to jump in. Fwakata. NL West.
Me there.
I don't care. No, I'm just angry because you know what? You think you're big and bad NL West. Well, here come the Mets. You know what? Yeah, we were 2-8 in our last 10 prior to this national series, But you know what? We're going to come out there and we're going to show you what the New York Mets are all about. At least that's what I'm hoping. Fwakata National League West. The whole, I don't care. All of you, just Fwaka effing ta.
Oui.
And I really think it's key that we win at least several of these games.
Yeah. If we win, Farace will shave his head.
I will immediately.
Immediately.
I'm that confident. I already did it. Done.
Let me show me that cannon. Show me that cannon, Steve. Come on.
Jose Abreu launches one into the corn against the Skanks. Nice.
Boom.
Frank, the Reds have not won yet, but they have extended their lead to 11-1. Before we get to Rodriguez, I almost forgot. Can we talk about some food here, Producer Joe? Sterlin's Paradise.
Boom.
Authentic. I know it's authentic, but that's just the way I talk.
Authentic.
It's authentication
it's
cuisine.
Like the authentic.
Down here in South Florida, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Although you might want to order in this weekend, as we got our friend Tropical Storm Fred lingering out there. Breakfast, lunch,
you know what
dinner.
I love about that, Farace? I love that you can, on your way to work, pick up breakfast. While you're working, you can get lunch, and you can order before you get home with some dinner. You don't have to cook anything. Sterling's Paradise will take care of you.
If you've been busting your behind at work, you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at work.
As we all do.
Sterling's Paradise daily lunch specials, 360 State Road 7 down here in Margate. 754-205-2637 is the phone number to place your order in advance, so it's nice and ready when you get there. Got like nice ambiance in there, and if you walk in at just the right time, you might see our beautiful faces on the TV in their dining room. So again, 360 State Road 7 in Margate. For those of you listening on the podcast version, 754-205-2637. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, daily lunch specials,
folks.
All that good stuff. Mr. Rodriguez, any closing remarks on this beautiful Thursday evening?
It's a wonderful day. The Mets won 2. We're going to win some more. We swept the Nats, just swatted them away, and they're gone. Now we're heading off to the West Coast, and I'm really hoping that we go 10 out of 13. But what are you doing, Farace?
We swat the Nats away.
So, good job, because of you, we won. Thank you.
Now we need you to dodge the Nats.
Oh, I'm gonna dodge the Nats.
Oh, dodge.
Oh,
Nats. Wow, look at this. You guys are gonna bunk heads. I wish you were right next to each other, because eventually the heads will go like this. Clack.
Finally knock some sense into both of us, maybe.
Have some faith. No, I don't. It might only help. It might only help Keith. You're not gonna have any little Farace. Anyway, everyone take care of each other. You know what you got to do. Make everybody healthy. Save the world. Let's go. Let's go, Mets.
All right, Producer Joe. Any Mets wisdom that you'd like to pass to us?
Like I've been saying all year, don't get too high, don't get too low. Try to be an even-keeled fan.
Even Steven.
You know, don't get too excited about sweeping the Mets. Don't get too down if we don't do so well against the Dodgers, because I think this team has potential. You know what? We've been 6 or 7 games out of the 13, and I'm happy. I mean, look, we shit the bed last week. I mean, come on. No, because there's 13 games, so it's gonna. Okay, 7. You have
I'm just saying mediocre. Right? I get it, Joe. It's not. I mean,
Joe,
come on.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let's do math. And
oh my God.
let's go Mets.
Joe, the underlying message is watch your edible dosage. Don't get too high. Don't get too low.
Oh yeah.
420 plus 1.
Plus 1. All right. What did Terzio say? Don't for the kids. Don't forget the kids. I read "don't for the kids" and I'm like, what's going on with Terzio tonight? He's in a foul mood for a sweep. Yeah, it's my fault.
Get the kids.
It's my fault. He says the games against the West Coast team is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah, you're right. And you're up till 2 a.m, and you can find a turd in there. All right. Do your thing. Be safe out there. Mask up when you need to. Get the shot in the arm. kids are going back to school soon. Thankfully, here in Broward County, thankfully, we do have the mask mandate up, so kids will be safe in Broward. And
No
to the
thanks
one
to
person,
Coral Springs.
one person said no to it, and because that's another subject in another show.
We'll leave that
But
alone.
let's go Mets. 13 against the best the National League has to offer, and let's see what we got. 6 out of 13. I'm okay. This is the only time you'll hear me say that. But Rodriguez says 10, and in Rodriguez we trust.
I'm scared
No.
because you and I
No, don't try to
agreed
blame me
this
for
week,
that. We're not
No.
winning 10, but I'm hoping for 10.
You and I agreed this week, Farace, so I'm a little nervous. But you know what?
Ooh.
Again, let me just give one last. I'm gonna ball it up. Fwakata to the NL West.
Rodriguez has been agreeing with me
I'm
all the
sorry.
time, except for the Zack Scott.
I know, but now you and I are agreeing.
The
So
Zack
this-
Scott
the
thing?
balance is way off. Maybe that's a good sign. We shall see.
Whatever it takes, by any means necessary. Let's
Amen.
win some games. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. What's our schedule looking like next week?
Thursday. Be here
I
next
got my
Thursday.
GYN
next-
appointment on Monday. I got my colonoscopy on Tuesday. My mammogram on Wednesday. Oh, you mean the ARA schedule? Oh, I'm sorry.
So we can do another Thursday game.
That's
We'll
really
be the
believable.
far advanced pregame show of the Mets and Dodgers.
HEI.
So big old blue and orange ribbon on this bad boy.
Boom.
It's happening.
Blue.
Boom. We'll talk to you guys next week, and as always, we'll keep you posted
Let's go, Mets,
in
baby.
the group on what's going on with the New York Metropolitans. Terzio wants us to do a 2 a.m. show.
I'm down.
down?
We can do that. You want to do
we're
it tomorrow
not.
night?
No, we're not down.
I might.
All right.
I might have to wake up, but you know.
Producer Joe will be there for the 2 a.m. All right. Peace
Saturday.
out, everybody. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate all the comments, even the back and forth and my blood pressure being raised. Until next week.
Don't know why.
Peace out, everybody.
Pull up the bullets.